A lot of people are curious about how EMDR works. So here's my explanation. First, it's important to know that not everyone agrees on the exact mechanism that makes EMDR work. There's a couple of theories out there. The one I subscribe to is the one that I'll explain. So imagine that on any given day, you go about your life encountering people and things. And when you go to bed that night, when you enter REM sleep, which is the fourth stage of sleep, your brain processes the information or the stimuli that you've been exposed to throughout the day. And it does so by passing information back and forth between the two hemispheres. And that's the reason why our eyes are moving underneath our eyelids during REM sleep. You wake up the next day, you're refreshed, and you go about your day again. Now, what happens with trauma is that it doesn't necessarily get processed during REM sleep the way the rest of the stimuli that you've experienced would. It gets stuck. And it gets stuck in isolated memories that don't get integrated with the rest of the brain. So what we do in EMDR is we try to mimic what the brain naturally does during REM sleep by facilitating what's called bilateral neural stimulation, which basically means we're helping the brain move information back and forth between the two hemispheres. And we would do that by eye movements. So for example, asking someone to follow the finger back and forth. Or perhaps there's some pulsars in the hands. And every time the left pulsar goes off, the right side of the hemisphere is activated. And that's how it is facilitated. So then what happens in EMDR is that when a client is able to access a traumatic memory, we facilitate the bilateral neural stimulation in these short sets, 20 to 30 seconds. And the role of the client is to try to be as passive as possible, to let the brain do what it can naturally do in order to heal and to integrate the trauma into the rest of the memory system so that the mature adult brain can make sense of it in a different way.